I have one completion of Vesper's Host and none on Sundered Doctrine. Every time I look at the LFG and D2, all I see is experience required. But I can't learn if there's experience required. I would disagree. And the number one reason I would disagree, and hang with me here, hear me out on this one. What is stopping you from getting experience by watching a YouTube guide video, of which there are hundreds of ready available that are extremely well made and do an extremely good job of explaining the encounters? What's stopping you from watching a guide video so you understand the mechanics, then joining those groups that say experience required and saying, hey fellas, I just want to be completely transparent. I don't have a clear on this dungeon. However, I do know the mechanics because I watched a guide video on them. So hopefully I won't drag you guys down. Is that okay? And yes, without a doubt, some teams are going to say, no, we would prefer you have a clear. And some teams are just not even going to invite you, period, because they're going to look up your Guardian, your Bungie ID on Dungeon Report or Raid Report, see that you don't have a clear and don't even invite you. But I guarantee you're going to run into some teams that would say, yeah, that's cool. We're down with that. Furthermore, let's say we live in a world where, let's, play devil's advocate. No, Mac, not a single team invites me because they look me up on Dungeon Report. They see I have 0 clears and I just can't get in a group. All y'all watching the Twitch stream live, what do you think I'm going to ask right now? What do you think I'm going to ask? One of my number one pet peeves whenever I see people complaining about the available group options in any LFG activity. What's the solution? Come on. Let me hear it. Boom! Make your own LFG post. What's stopping you from making an LFG post that says something along the lines of looking for 2 for Sundered Doctrine, chill run, this is my first clear, but I know all the mechanics from a guide video. And then you get 2 people to join. Maybe you ask them, hey fellas, is this also your first clear? Or do you guys have some experience? Maybe you get some people that are also looking to get their first clear. And you're like, cool, sweet, we're going to get our first clear together. Maybe you get some people that already have a clear. And maybe you say, hey man, I really appreciate you being willing to run with me despite me not having any clears. I have a pretty good grasp of what I'm doing because I watched a guide video, but if it wouldn't be too much of a hassle, if there is something that I don't get, or if there's anything that you notice that I'm doing wrong, would you mind letting me know? What's stopping you from doing a crippling social anxiety? Okay, well, you can't... And I sympathize, by the way. I understand social anxiety, I get it. But that's not really something that you can put on LFG. Or the LFG group options. That's something that, like, that's not... And I'm not saying that you're doing that, but that's not really like that's not a shortcoming of LFG or the options available to you when it comes to given LFG sign-up groups. Like, that's... and the reason I bring this up is because as someone who streams and probably talks to, like, tens of thousands of people a week about Destiny, I see so many people that say that exact same thing. Oh, well, I don't have any clears of this raid. I don't have any clears of this dungeon. But every time I go on LFG, everyone requires experience. How am I supposed to get in a group if everyone requires experience? I have hundreds of people saying that stuff. Which means if there's hundreds of you that are looking to try out a raid, despite not having experience, and you're not able to join any of the groups because they require experience, why don't y'all team up with each other? Why don't y'all find 2 other folks who are also like, yo, right, man? What the heck? How am I supposed to get in on these groups that require experience if I need to get into the group to require experience? Why not find 2 other people that are also like, yeah, man, let's figure it out. I just lie and say it's my second account. I don't want to be too mean, but you and I are not vibing real nice together right now. I am that's bad. That's not cool. What happened to treat your neighbor like you want to treat yourself? How would you feel if you were putting together a group, experience required, maybe you only got 30 minutes to run the dungeon, so you need a team that, you know, knows what's up, they know how to bang it out, they know how to do it. And someone pulls up to your group and says, "Oh, don't worry, man, I know exactly what to do. I don't have any clears because this is my second account." But they're lying to you, and they have no idea what they're doing, and now you can't do the dungeon in the 30 minutes that you had to play because someone was lying to you. Like, that's that. Also, just, in general, anyway, period, point blank, lying, thumbs down, anyway, always. I watch a vid beforehand, though. I don't care. Then say that. Then say that. Join the group and be like, guys, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't have an actual clear, but I know what I'm doing. I watched a video on all the mechanics. And here's the thing, right? If they hear that and they decide, no, sorry, dude, we're really looking for someone to play who already has a clear, that's their, like, that's their prerogative. It's their group. You as a player, when you're joining someone else's group, you don't get to decide which of their requirements and requests are okay and which ones are nonsense and you get to ignore. Like, that's crap. How do you expect anyone to respect the fact that you're trying to go out of your comfort zone and try something new and try and come properly educated and try and come prepared if you're not willing to respect the requirements for their group? That's something that always baffles me. People will tell me, they'll be like, Mac, I just don't get it, man. Like, I'm trying to get into raiding. I'm trying to learn my very first raid. I go on LFG. I join a group that says, looking to do Last Wish. Minimum 3 clears required. I join the group, and then they kick me out after they learn that I don't have 3 clears. Like, are you kidding me, man? That's not, like, what do you mean? What? How are you surprised? You tried to join a group knowing that you did not meet the requested requirements of that group. Like, what? Let me flip it for you, right? Can you imagine if you made a group that said, hey, y'all, we're looking to do a raid. We have some first-timers in here. It might take a little bit. It might take some time. Looking for people who are chill. Looking for people who are patient. And someone joined the group, and they started raging out after the first wipe. Like, what the heck? How do you people not know what to... Dude, like, wouldn't you immediately be like, are you kidding me, man? Like... You'd think they were a total jackwagon. Right? I would. I would be like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, did you not read the group requirements? Did you not read, like... Come on. And I think everyone's in that boat. I think every single new player who, or like green raider, fresh raider, who makes a group and is requesting calm, patient players, they'd probably be pretty teed off if someone joined and started raging out because they weren't doing it fast enough. And they would have every right to be annoyed about that. Because that player joined their group and did not respect... Like, If you look at someone's LFG posts and you look at their requirements and you think to yourself, those requirements are nonsense, the correct answer is not, oh, these requirements are nonsense, I'm going to completely ignore them and join the group anyway and lie about my experience. That's not the play. The play is, oh, these requirements are nonsense, I'm going to go find a different group to play with that has requirements that I gel with, or I'm going to make my own group with my own requirements that I like. I've never understood that mindset. Like, oh my god, this guy's requesting 20 clears? That's absurd. I'm gonna join the group. It's like, what? Why? You just established mentally that you think they're out of their mind. Why do you want to raid with them? You know what I mean? It's the same as PvP. I don't play PvP. Can you explain? Can you give me the rundown? Waffle Waffle, thanks for the brand new Prime sub, homie. Like, I have never understood people being like so unwilling to like watch a guide video. And granted, if anyone who is listening to me right now is probably not in that bucket anyway, because I make guide videos for everything. So if you're subscribed to my channel, or well, this would be going up on Yaptics, I suppose. If you're subscribed to my Mactics channel, and it's likely that if you're subscribed to Yaptics, you also know about Mactics and are subscribed there. If you're subscribed to my Mactics channel, which is a channel which is pretty much all guides, this probably isn't applicable. Like, the group that is listening to this is the group that does not need to hear this. Because all y'all are probably down with watching a guide video. All of y'all understand the value in watching a guide video. But I will never... There's so many people out there that just think guide videos are, like, worthless. Oh, well, I learn better by doing. It's like... Okay, so you mean to look me dead in the eyes and tell me that you think watching a guide video that explains all of the mechanics, which is carefully edited, with structured voiceover, curated, selected visual aid clips that show you exact examples of what is going on as the explanation is occurring, you're telling me that's not going to prepare you better for what you're about to play in any capacity? I call cap. I'm 27 years old. I shouldn't be saying that, but I call it. Come on. No one's making the argument that you're going to know how to do the raid perfectly with 0 mistakes after watching a guide video. But, like, watching the guide video is going to be the difference between you causing 8 wipes and 1 wipe. Watching a guide video is going to be the difference between you needing a 10-minute explanation of the full encounter before every encounter versus you asking one question that takes 30 seconds to answer and saves the rest of the team 9 minutes and 30 seconds. Furthermore, check this one out. If you don't respect your fellow raiders, the other 5 members in that team, if you don't respect their time enough to be willing to watch a guide video before the run to make it smoother and quicker and easier on them, how do you expect them to respect your need, how do you expect them to respect your needing guidance and help and explanations and a Sherpa? It's basically like, it's like, hey man, I'm willing to help you out, I'm willing to take you through this raid even though you don't have any clears, but like, as long as you watch a guide video and you have some idea of what's going on. It's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Like, you gotta consider the optics of that. You gotta consider the message that sends, right? Because what you're basically saying is, hey, I want to do this activity. with you who has experience with it. And I'm expecting you to be accommodating for the fact that I don't have any experience and don't know what I'm doing, despite the fact that I'm not willing to put any time or effort into coming prepared to make that job easier on you. And then, like, we're confused that experienced people aren't letting us into their raid groups? It's like, you know? And I know some people that hear this are just gonna immediately think that I'm a jerk. And I'm an elitist and I don't want to teach anyone anything and I want to gatekeep raids and I'm going to get this and that and whatever. First of all, automatically wrong. As you're watching this right now, I'm doing Grandmaster Nightfall carries on my stream. I also have a career off of making YouTube Destiny 2 guide videos. My favorite thing to do in this game is teach people how to do things. But I'm not gonna drive to their house, pick them up, and force them to come and sit in the chair. You want to come to my establishment and come to the Mactics teaching seminar? I will happily teach you. But if you don't want to be taught, I'm not going to drive out and go pick you up and stick you in the chair and force you to learn this. Like, I call that a conflict of interest because you were saying people must use the product that you are offering. Not true in any capacity. I don't even make raid guides. Whenever someone asks me, like, hey, Mac, I'm trying to learn how to raiding, you know, the first thing I always say, go watch Dado's raid guides. And no, Dado's not paying me on the side out of, like, the only raid guides I've ever made is the Pantheon raid guide. And, the Salvation's Edge raid. Actually, I made some, like, really quick Vault of Glass encounter guides, but that's about it. The main guides I make are solo flawless dungeon guides and build video guides. I want to see people excel in this game. Like here, let me give you a different let me throw a little alternate angle on it, right? I want you guys to imagine that you have a clan of 50 people. And you know, and you're like one of the best players in your clan. And you got this build that everybody in your clan has been wanting to know about. Because they see you just going absolutely crazy. They see you smoking all the content. They see you killing all the ads. They see you just absolutely putting in work. So, you, as a player, are like, okay, I'm going to make a video and send it to my clan to show them this build that I've been using and walk through it and explain how it works and tell them what to equip and all that. So that anyone who wants to run it can run it and then they can also smoke content. So you make the video and then you post it in your clan. And then you get a DM from one of your clannies that says, hey man, would you mind jumping in a Discord call with me tonight? And showing me your build and telling me how to use it and telling me what to equip and setting it up for me? What would you say to him? You'd be like, what? I just made a video for you. I spent like 20 hours editing it. What do you mean you want me to sit in a Discord call with you and give you the same exact information that I already put into a video for you to watch? Hey, no one answered me. I'm asking the live chat directly. Put yourself in those shoes. I'm not saying that this isn't me, by the way. This didn't happen. I'm just giving an example because I know a lot of y'all are in clans. What would you guys do if you made a YouTube video for your clannies and then one of your clannies was like, hey, can you sit with me in a Discord call for 20 minutes and put the build together for me? You'd be like, nah, bro. Go watch the video I made for you. What? I just made it for you. What do you mean you want me to sit in a one-on-one Discord call with you? I just spent like 20 hours editing this thing. All this comes from a place of love, okay? The reason I'm so passionate about all this is because I want people to get into dungeons. I want people to get into raids. I want people to learn this stuff. But with the way some people talk about it, like, I get the impression that they don't want to learn it. They just want... They just want drag... Like, I don't know. It's like... Yeah. I've never... Can I ask you a question? Why do people... Because... And there must be something going on. Maybe I just don't get it. If y'all are... If there's any people in here... I don't know if there are or not. If there's not, then the other people in here can speculate. Or maybe you guys know a friend who is like this. I always hear the message, hey, Mac, I can't join any groups because I don't meet the requirements for the groups. Why do so many people seem to not like making their own groups? Why do people not like hosting their own groups? With requirements that fit their situation. I cannot get EP Rolling Storm. Hi, Frostbolt. I don't know if chat told you, but your eyes look pretty today. They actually did not tell me. So thanks. They didn't tell me, which is kind of crazy. I've been live for 6 hours, and Frostbolt, PvP Warlord, is the first person to tell me my eyes look pretty today. My friends are scared too. Why? Do you know why they're more scared of making their own group versus joining someone else's? I feel like joining someone else's group would be way more anxiety-inducing than, like, curating your own optimal, ideal situation. Right? Thanks, Squatch. Valorous, have a great day at work, dude. Take care. On my end, it's because I have super high anxiety about it. Not a problem for joining groups, but some reason making one makes me super anxious. I mean, yeah, I guess... I'm not going to say that, like, I understand, because, like, I'm not in that boat, but, like, I'm not going to discredit, obviously. Like, how do I believe you. This guy said, bro, you not Mactics. I'll say, okay. So, Tommy, thank you so much for the 100 bits, homie. Destiny 2 has become one of those games where if you're not at a certain standard, then you are thought less of. If you are not a certain standard, then you are thought less of. I mean, by some people, for sure, without a doubt. But like, there are plenty of people that I don't think will treat you that way. I think that's, like, life, though. That's not a Destiny-specific thing. I think that I think that's, like, that's life in general, right? How many people are there in the world that, like, think less of others that, like, make less money than them? You know what I mean? Or drive not as cool of a car. Or work in a profession that's not deemed, like, sexy, you know? That's just life. That's not just, like, a Destiny thing. And so I think the individuals that think that way in life and also play Destiny, that mindset carries with them into Destiny. And then the individuals that live life in a sense of, like, oh, I'm not going to look down on other people because maybe they don't have as much money as me. They don't have as many accomplishments as me. Those individuals that play Destiny also bring their mindset into the game, and so it's just kind of like, yeah, I think there's definitely some people that are like that, but not. I wouldn't say that's the culture of Destiny 2. I think that mindset is a byproduct of individuals that just live life that way in general and bring that with them to the game. I think that's more of a consequence of like social media trends and like highlight real lifestyles more than it is of like anything Destiny does. Like we live in a day and age where it's like we live in a very like status-based day and age. And so I think Destiny, along with any other game, just feels the cascading ripple effect of that. I don't think something like that is propagated from within Destiny. I think it's that's just the way the world is, which is unfortunate, but you know. Griffin and Lukey Wards, thank you so much for the gifted subs, by the way. I apologize if I missed those. I've been yapping for a while. Ligam, thank you so much for the brand new Prime sub. Why? Because I don't want to spend 4 hours doing an activity that takes 1 hour? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Jay Klosk Totally Screwed. Let me get your Bungie IDs. Let's run a GM. What is you not wanting to do? And I'm talking to someone else? Well, I'm talking to you. You're talking in my Twitch chat, which means I'm automatically part of the conversation. This is my house. You're in my living room. So now I'm involved. Okay, bye. Oh, they couldn't handle the heat, I guess. All fun and games till you have to explain your viewpoint. They crumbled pretty quickly. Oh my god. Watson, thank you so much for the tier 3 for 17 months. Welcome back, bro. JM class. 5, 9, 12. And then who else did I have? Totally Screwed. Did they put their Bungie ID in chat? I don't see them. I'm curious what they say. Oh, they said they are one of those people that look down on individuals if they're not as good at the game as them. Oh no! So I'm so sad they left. Bummer. Oh darn. Don Carnage, are you ready to rock and roll right now? Are you ready to ball out? Ready to roll? Ready to fry? Ready to GM? Ready? All right, throw me your Bungie ID. Anyway, wrap this in a bow. TLDR. If you are looking to play endgame content that involves mechanics, and you're struggling to get into groups that require experience, step 1, watch a guide video. I know you might think it might not help, but I think we can agree that it definitely can't hurt. You're not going to be done watching the guide video and be like, dang, I know less about the raid now than before I watched the guide. But like, that's not going to happen, you know? Is it going to get you to 100% understanding? No, absolutely not. But that's not the point of it. The point of a guide video is to get you from 0 to 30, 0 to 40, 0 to 50. That way, when you join the activity, you can then go from 30 to 100, or 40 to 100, or 50 to 100, instead of having to go from 0 knowledge to 100% knowledge. Furthermore, if you're having a very difficult time joining groups, you're not meeting their requirements. I know it might be scary. I know it might be a little foreign. I know you might get a little anxious. But start making your own groups. Make your own groups with requirements that fit your situation. Hey, I'm new to this, but I watched a guide. Hey, please be patient if I mess something up. I'm going to do my best. I have a pretty good idea of what I'm doing, but like, hey, I might make a mistake here or there. Will it take you a bit of, probably a longer time to find a group? Yeah, absolutely. But you're going to end up in much more favorable groups and more favorable situations without having to lie yourself into groups that have requirements that you do not meet. But as always, and I cannot emphasize this enough, at the end of the day,